Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. We are so excited to have you join us today as we demonstrate our newly released content editing component for iOS and Android SDKs. Before we dive in, let me take a moment to introduce the team who will be presenting today. My name is Pavel, and I am the Product Marketing Manager at PSPDFKit. I'll be walking you through the product capabilities and showing you how you can quickly try it out for your own project. Up next, we have Milos, PSPDFKit's VP of Product, who will present a demonstration of the content editing capabilities. Unfortunately, Milos cannot attend today's webinar due to unforeseen reasons. Nonetheless, we have pre-recorded his demo session to provide a seamless experience for you. Lastly, we have Michael and Stefan, core team engineers who are eager to address any technical questions you may have during our Q&A session at the end of the webinar. We encourage you to drop the questions in the chat, and we'll be sure to cover them in the last 10 minutes of the webinar. So, without further ado, let's start our today's presentation. Some of you may already be familiar with our mobile offering, but for those who aren't, let me give you a quick recap. PSPDFKit provides the most feature-rich and beautifully designed mobile SDK on the market. Here you can see an overview of the main components we offer for various mobile platforms, including iOS, Android, Flutter, and React Native. With our SDK, you can build end-to-end document workflows that feature annotations, redactions, electronic signatures, instant comments, and more. Content editing offers immense flexibility when working with documents. This feature not only makes it easy to repurpose a document by simply modifying a few details, but also proves invaluable when users require swift edits. In our most recent releases for mobile clients, we introduced parity with the content editing functionality utilized by developers in our web SDKs. This means that end users can now conveniently edit their documents across various platforms. We will showcase a few examples to demonstrate how text can be edited, even in documents with complicated graphical structures. Now let's proceed to the actual demo, and I'll hand it over to Milos.
We're looking at a generic invoice document rendered by the viewer component of our iOS SDK. It is so easy to reuse documents as a template when only a couple of adjustments is needed, just like with an invoice. Users enter content editing mode by choosing the appropriate option from the toolbar. We can see that all lines of text are immediately surrounded by frames, which means the user can edit them. To do this, they simply need to tap into a text box and they will see a caret when they can begin to make changes. Let's change the invoice number. Change the date. Update phase 1 to research and development. Let's set the amount to 5,000. And total to 17,400. In order to persist the changes, users just need to choose the save option. And if they change their mind, don't want to keep the change, they can just click cancel, get back to the original document. At this point, users go outside of the edit mode and all changes they introduce to the document are now permanent. It's that simple. I don't know how often do you have to fix some bad spelling or enlarge something in your presentation in the very last moment. With PSPDFKit, users can easily do this, even from their phone or tablet. Here's a presentation rendered again by our iOS SDK on an iPad. Let's fix that title. Users can fix spelling here, move the second word to the new line for better readability. Story of nothing. Let's update the company to Acme. Our content editor supports native gestures and functions, so when you double tap, the whole word is recognized and it can easily be copied and pasted, for example, on the next page. Let's fine-tune the subtitle. I think it should be a bit bigger. Let's update the font size. Yeah, digitally born presentation, I'll put it as a PDF, and we've just changed it in a matter of seconds. And as our last example, here's an agenda or schedule, this time rendered by our Android SDK. Let's see how it looks like in an Android environment. The workflow is exactly the same. Users need to enter contenting mode in all text lines that can be modified or marked with these rectangles. Let's update the date in the top right corner. Let's update the description in a couple of places. Change the color here and there. How about we update the footer to limit it to 100 people? On Android, you can also use undo actions in the contenting mode using standard arrows from the toolbar. Let's save changes, and we're done.
Thank you, Milos. That was an awesome demo. Now that you have seen what our content editor is capable of, let's take a minute to talk about how you can try it out for yourself. Starting a mobile SDK free trial is simple and easy. All you have to do is visit the PSPDFKit main page and click the Try SDK for Free button, which is right here. As of July 2021, our product no longer requires a trial license key, so you can start implementing it right away. On the trial page, you'll be asked to choose the platform and the project type of the integration. So you can easily check those boxes and hit the Get Started button. Once you have made your selections, you'll be instantly redirected to comprehensive instructions that correspond to the deployment type you previously selected. And if you ever want to change any of your preferences, such as the project type or integration, feel free to do so directly from this page. You can do it here as well. It's that easy and simple. And we now have to explain licensing a little bit. So in terms of licensing, Content Editor is one of the easiest components to license, as you only need to pair it with the viewer component in order to use in your app. As shown in the slide, many other advanced components require the licensing of multiple parts of the SDK due to technical interdependencies. So if you're looking for a simpler licensing option, the Content Editor is definitely the way to go. Now it's time for our Q&A session, and let's take a look in the comment section and see if we have any questions to answer. Okay. Looks like we don't have any, for the moment at least. We can wait a couple of minutes to see if we have any questions in the chat. In the meantime, I would say that tomorrow we will be sending you a follow-up email with the recording of the webinar, and we will also provide you with an option to contact our solution engineers. This is in case you would like to discuss implementation and any possible solutions for your project. Okay, it looks like we're not going to have any questions in the chat anytime soon. Okay, Mark is typing. Let's wait for another minute. No? Anyway, if you have any questions or you will have them in the future, you can easily reach out to us using the very same email address you used to register for this webinar. And it looks like that's it for today. Thank you for joining us, and let us know if you have any questions. See you soon. Bye.